Hello, hello. It is day 134 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. Um, Today is it was the first day back to school for the two older kids. But I did have Casey, my youngest, at home with me all day. It was also my office hours day for the Butterfly Network, and with the website being down and all of that stuff, or not down, but having to be replaced, I started out this day just feeling so overwhelmed, sort of feeling very daunted by the amount, the sheer volume of what I had to do to rebuild. And what ended up happening that I think will work well, or what I ended up deciding, was that I will have a focus for each day of the week, on different parts of my business, and probably in a different way than a lot of other CEOs break up their schedule. I know a lot of people will chunk their work, like time blocks type of thing. And that really only usually works for me when I'm hyper focusing. But the concept is not to do the same task all day, but to have the same topic that I'm focusing on. So instead of like all client facing, forward facing work on one day, and all back end on another day, and all finances on another day, and all of that, instead having it be like, okay, on Tuesdays, I work on the Butterfly Network because that's when my office hours are. So I stay on topic. I do the back end stuff for that, do all the workflows, upload the videos that are all needing to be re-uploaded now, all of that kind of thing, and do it all on Tuesdays when I have my office hours, and just have it all sort of be in flow, but I can do the different pieces of it all in one day. So it's not a big chunk where I'm requiring something of myself that I maybe am not in the mood for. Um, and for some of you, that might sound like uh, a little bit like spoiled brat-ish, but at the same time, but here's why. Okay, so I have worked with Caitlin, my co-coach in the Butterfly Network, for several years now. She was my client. I hire her for accountability now. I did her cycle syncing program to figure out how to work with my energy instead of against it, and all of these things. And one of the best things that I got from working with her is to stop fighting against my energy. And my energy goes into resistance mode if I try to force myself to do things I don't want to do. So at different times throughout the month, my energy is leaning towards different types of tasks. And if I work with that, it's super, super powerful. And if I work against that, it doesn't work out very well, especially with my ADHD, because if you have ADHD, or if you know somebody with ADHD very well, you would know. Um, you just the level of resistance to doing something that you don't want to do when you have ADHD is off the charts. It really just there's a reason why so many entrepreneurs are ADHD, and that's because doing what we want works much better for us. So following what feels good instead of just following instructions and doing what your boss tells you, kind of thing. It's a reason why many of us do not do well at regular jobs, because it's like burning in hell. It just feels so, it's difficult. Everything is so difficult about it. Having somebody else choose my schedule, having someone else choose my tasks, having someone else tell me what to do, all of it, none of it feels good. Um, so that is why I went entrepreneur, and also why it's not a spoiled brat thing to be like, I'm working with what I feel like doing. Um, that is part of why I chose to be an entrepreneur, but um, it's also a really powerful and empowering thing. Whether you have ADHD or not, everybody has cycles. Everybody goes through cycles. Even men follow like, I mean, they've got lunar cycles with different energy at different types of the month, different times of the month. And we all experience seasonal cycles throughout the different times of the year. And women in particular experience very drastic shifts hormonally, even when they are not bleeding at different times of the month. And it just, working against it is so illogical when that's literally how we're made physically as human beings. So I found learning all of that to be super empowering. And sorry, that's a little bit of a tangent, but I'm trying to explain why I chose my method, I guess. But it just feels like it gives me, and I'm going into this only because I know that a lot of my business ladies are listening to this podcast, and I know that it's beneficial for them to understand how to work with their energy. So that's why I hired Caitlin as a co-coach in my Butterfly Network, so that she can support in this stuff for them. But anyways, I'm choosing to have my topic for the day picked, but not necessarily the actions within it. So I have one day a week where I focus all on podcasts. And I also included blog with that one because they're so related. But with podcasts can come recording, it can be planning, it can be editing, it can be scheduling, right? There's all kinds of different activities that go with that. And I can be working on the one that feels good each week on that same day and end up getting them all done, because at different times of the month, I am interested in doing different parts of the actual process. So if I go with what feels good, I will end up getting them all done at different times in the month. And that is really powerful. It's a little bit hard to shift into because there are certain expectations if you have due dates for, when your podcast goes out or things like that. But if you figure out your cycles and you work with them, you can sort of do a little bit of extra push or give yourself a little bit of extra grace, one or the other, to get it kickstarted, and then just follow your cycles after that. And it's so powerful and it's so empowering, and it just sets you free to have every day feel amazing and to be doing different things and have it be just right. Have it be exactly what you should be doing, right? And I really feel like with the way I have it laid out, it just feels like so smooth, so clear for me, because my to-do list right now is so incredibly massive. With kids going back to school at the same time as having to rebuild my website from scratch, years worth of content and programs and memberships and courses and all of these things. And at the same time is still continuing to run my business and still making sales. I don't know how I'm functioning. You know what I mean? Like I do, but I don't. I do because I know that because my to-do list is endless, it would be abusive to myself to try to finish it before I would give myself a break. So I take my breaks first. I do my self-care first. I practice what I preach, and I let myself stop when it's time to stop, and I take the breaks when I need to take breaks. So throughout the day today, I had the way that my day flowed today didn't quite go to my normal office hours, and I just said, like, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'll be back in at this time, and the same number of hours will be there, but they didn't happen at the right times today, and that was what worked today. It was gorgeous out, so we walked to school and back instead of me going to drive and it being directly after the end of office hours. I had to cut into them a little bit and then pick up again later or things like that. And it's just, it was really empowering. It was really like, instead of me feeling like, oh my gosh, I have 50,000 things to do, it was like, nope. You are working on the Butterfly Network. You are working on uploading videos. You are working on getting the community built out again. You are working on getting workflows and tags and email stuff all set up and all of that, so that when you press play, it's all running smoothly because you know how it goes together. So just go and do it. And it just gave me that focus, so that I could continue delivering for clients on the front end at the same time as making progress on the back end and rebuilding from the ground up. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I have a specific topic for every day of the week now, something that I'm focusing on. At Saturdays are kids, like, end of story, right? That's what I do with my kids. I just spend time with my kids. And I have different things for all the rest of the days that are my topic for the day. And it doesn't have to be that I work on them from the second I wake up until the second I go to bed. It just means that that is my main focus. And it just makes it so clear what to focus on, instead of really the overwhelm that comes with the to-do list the size that mine is. I swear I have a whole notebook full of lists and a whole drive full of folders and documents and all. Like, it's just a lot. And it's really interesting because at the same time, and I know that collectively, like, this is a thing, because right now I have multiple clients, multiple friends who are struggling, who are having a really hard time, who are having like really rough things going on in their lives. And I'm sort of sitting here with this massive overload of stuff and the hard things that caused it, and feeling like almost like I escaped this one. Like, what I have isn't that bad at all. And I don't mean that in a laughing way. I just mean, like, it's baffling to think that with everything I have going on and everything on my plate, that I feel like I'm the lucky one who caught a break. And that's just because I feel like I have control. I feel like I have it under control. It doesn't feel like it's getting away from me. It feels huge and insane, but it also feels like I've got this. And I mean, that's huge. That is everything, right? Feeling like, okay, it's okay. We can just keep going and everything is fine and it's going to be great. That's massive. That is really, really incredible. So I'm going to attribute that to, I mean, part of it is just my natural tendency to see the bright side. And part of it is also this really, really deep trust that I have gained through following this challenge. And it's not an overnight trust. It's not an instant thing. It's something that builds up over time. And I can't tell you that there was a day that it switched on, where the depth of my belief was so incredibly deep that I can't see the bottom, type of thing. And I just have this ultimate trust. But I mean, I still dropped a new offer yesterday. I still, like, something I've never sold before, something that I am incredibly excited about, and it's completely brand new. And I haven't even got all my old ones up on a new website yet. So some people might think I'm crazy, but I'm like, everything is exactly like it's supposed to be. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And my success is here. And I just am like, it's so set for me now, and it feels amazing. So, and I mean, people already want to buy the new offer. So it's it's really good. It's really good. And I don't say that to brag. It's just like a little bit mind blowing because of knowing where I was coming from to where I am now in 134 days. Like, that is really so short in the grand scheme of things. And I know that, especially as an entrepreneur, especially if you've been struggling for a while to get going, it's like, it feels like you want it now. And when you try to manifest, you're like, this month, this month, this month. And um, it feels like you're not hitting those goals. And I think having it be a year goal uh, really frees you up to have that expansion happen on the same deadline. And I feel like energetically I'm where I thought I would be at the end, and I'm just waiting for the physical manifestation to show up at this point. And some of it already is. So um, I feel like I said the same thing yesterday, and I'm not sure if I did or not, but I cannot wait to see where this challenge takes me. I'm really excited to see where I end up. So hopefully that is inspiring you to continue on your suspending disbelief journey. And thank you for following along with me and listening. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.